the fact that I had a story that I needed to tell and I needed an audience, and stand-up gave me that platform to tell my story about my heart transplant. That is the reason why I got into stand-up comedy. What other platform that I could tell such a tragic story of my life and educate people and bring laughter at the same time? You know, and I've always been an entertainer as a small kid. I could make people laugh, and being that laughter is the you know, it brings a good spirit to you, man. It's good healing to those who are not doing so well. So I feel like when I'm on that stage, I'm healing some people out there, man, that's hurting with my story. I make them laugh and they feel better. You never know in this business of comedy what kind of day those people have had in that audience, and you can make that difference in their day. They can take that laughter, takes away from whatever happened, you know, previously, you know, before they saw you on stage. Scared, absolutely scared. Did not know what to expect. You know, I mean, being a new comic, I didn't have time to actually research stand-up. I actually was released from the hospital. A week later, I was on stage, and when I went on stage for the first time, I had no real material other than my life story. So when I went on stage, I just talked about what happened with a little bit of a twist. When I say twist, I lied. You know, I told I stretched the truth a little bit on some of the things, but that stretch of truth is what made the people laugh, and that inspired me to keep going. So I went to the improv comedy class, and I learned how to structure the comedy, to write it so that it had a little kick to it. So that's my story, man. Richard Pryor on Sunset Strip is my absolute favorite stand-up comedy album. Richard Pryor was unfiltered. He was something special, because if you know anything about Richard Pryor, he talked about his life. This stuff was true, and he inspired me. He's somebody that if I'm gonna do comedy, that is, even though my comedy is not as graphic as Richard Pryor, but he is one of the comedians that I admire the most. The best comedy special that I could say, that would be the last comedy special I just watched, which was the 25-year anniversary of Def Comedy Jam. That is the absolute best comedy special I've seen in my life, because that I grew up, you know, watching Def Comedy Jam. I'm 40. I'm soon to be 48 years old, and during the era of Def Comedy Jam, a lot of those comedians are my age now. These famous comedians that I watched because no one knew who they were, and Def Comedy Jam gave them that exposure. Without Def Comedy Jam, we may have never heard of the Bernie Macs, the Eddie Griffins, the Dave Chappelles, the Steve Harveys. I mean, I can go on and on to that list of comics that came from Def Comedy Jam. So that special was the absolute best. In Living Color, this is one of the best sketch. Comedy, Stir Crazy with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Best comedy film ever. I mean, what a comedy duo. I mean, for those who have not had an opportunity to see Stir Crazy, Google it, look for it on Netflix. But Richard Pryor and oh my God, Gene Wilder, best duo ever. Seinfeld, best comedy sitcom that I've ever seen. David Chappelle. He's my absolute, hands down, favorite comedian. Ken Miller, Brody Love, Vince Taylor, Gina G. Is that 5? One more. Oh man. Comedy improv. I'm currently a student at Saks Comedy Lab, so I am in the second level of improv comedy. That is one of my actual strengths. Stand-up comedy, to me, I've improved my stand-up comedy by being an improv comic. So I don't think there's just one aspect of comedy, but I do love both improv and stand-up. But as of right now, I see myself in the future more behind the scenes of the stand-up and in the front scene of doing comedy improv. I'll audition for AGT November 5th. I'm going to say where I see myself as a not only stand-up comedian, but as a successful producer and possibly in the back of comedy, producing actually comedy shows. I see myself in the future as a writer of comedy versus an actual stand-up comedian. You can find me Norris, aka Miracle the Comedian, or Norris McMiller on Facebook, Instagram, Norris McMiller, Twitter, Norris L. McMiller. That they actually witnessed the miracle, which is the name that I go by. I want them to leave with the knowledge of saying, hey, this guy has went through a lot of tragedy and pain, but he is here before us making us laugh. And that somehow, if they had a bad day, my story has inspired them to say, hey, I'm stronger than what I thought I was. After hearing this guy's story, my life is not as bad. Look what he went through. That is what I want my audience to take away when they see Miracle the Comedian. My name is Norris, aka Miracle the Comedian. You guys can check this out on cutie.com. Thank you, sir.